Recorded Books presents Counterfeit Love by Crystal Caudill, narrated by Stephanie Cozart. Chapter 1, December 31st, 1883.
I don't understand why we can't marry sooner. Cincinnati doesn't require your grandfather's consent.
Not this topic again. Theresa sighed as her fiancé tilted the umbrella to shield her from falling sleet and helped her into the closed carriage. She'd spent weeks updating her seasons-old dress with a larger bustle and salvaged lace. Couldn't they simply enjoy the New Year's Eve ball at Bellevue House and for one evening pretend all was right in the world? You know I want his blessing. However, convincing her stubborn grandfather that Edward Greystone was a suitable match would take more time. Lots more.
I don't see why.
The carriage rocked as Edward squeezed into the cramped space.
The curmudgeon hardly gives you anything, much less his approval.
He's a good man. What other grandfather would sacrifice a beloved military career to raise a 14-year-old granddaughter? And he's all the family I have left. I need him as much as he needs me.
You're better off without him.
Edward turned sideways to allow his long legs room to stretch and speared her with a pointed look.
What did you pawn this week to pay his debts?
She waved aside the answer as the carriage rolled forward. He didn't need to know the elegant furniture from her parents' bedroom had succumbed to her desperate need. One less creditor on their list of many made the sentimental loss worth it. She owed grandfather everything within her power to help. Can we just enjoy the evening, please? I want 1884 to be the year life takes a turn for the better. Then wed me tomorrow. He clasped her hands and rubbed his thumb over the emerald engagement ring she wore inside her glove.
My work at the shipping docks may not afford us a mansion yet, but I can provide for you and save you from Colonel Plane's downfall.
Edward's hopeful expression pricked her conscience. Grandfather would never approve of their marrying, no matter how long she tried to convince him. Edward's vocal Southern sympathies earned him no respect from the former Union colonel. Whatever Edward did to cultivate favor, he'd always be the enemy. Would grandfather ever find any man acceptable? Broderick Cosgrove had shared most of her grandfather's political views, but grandfather had still objected to him. Of course, he'd been right about that match. Unbidden, the image of her former fiancé's smiling face filled her mind, and disappointment washed over her anew. She'd waited 6 years for Broderick to return with an explanation and a desire for reconciliation. Her foolish heart should know the truth by now. He was never coming back. Edward, though, stayed by her side, whatever the hardship. He loved her. To delay their marriage bordered lunacy. Besides, where her head went, her heart eventually followed. She smoothed Edward's waxed mustache and offered a tentative smile. The carriage halted, and voices rose.
Stay here. I'll check with the driver.
Edward reached for the door, but the handle jerked from his grip. The smell of stale whiskey and cheap cigar filled the interior as a dark-haired vagrant forced his way inside, lobbying the barrel of a gun at them. Edward lunged in front of her, blocking her view.
Get out. Not till I get my money.
Theresa sucked in a breath. No one forgot that raspy voice once they heard it, and she'd heard it coming from behind grandfather's closed office door more than once. Vincent Drake, the money-monger, looked as dark as his reputation.
Over my dead body.
Edward, the brave fool.
I can arrange that.
Her heart skittered. Move, Edward. Mr. Drake is grandfather's creditor. He didn't shift. The gun cocked.
I'd hate for the bullet to go through you and kill her.
Edward eased next to her, fists clenched.
Now, Miss Plane.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?